Alright gang, welcome back to our Pioneer Challenge on Alone in the World, November, day 2. We've got the tractor down here with the cultivator. We're selling the cultivator. You might be like, well, what are you selling the cultivator for? Well, I will show you very, very soon once we get back up to the farm. You can also see we have $91,343. I have chopped down a few more trees, but not that many. I do believe that production we put in is really, really, really OP. So we're going to keep it for a little while, but if it gets to be too much, we're going to probably end up getting rid of it and trying something different. Right now, if we continue to chop down trees, and again, I'm not going to be chopping them down all the time, so that's the only reason why I'm considering keeping it. But if we keep chopping down those trees, like we will have this challenge done pretty damn quickly. And I think that's a little bit unrealistic and unfair. So I really don't want to go that path. But for now, we're going to keep it. I guess it'll allow me to limit the amount of trees I have to chop down, which is good because I do like trees. So, but we're just going to try to keep it to a minimum and not go overboard with it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Now, back to the cultivator. We sold the cultivator because we bought something. We bought a new plow. Now, the plow technically says I need to have more horsepower than this tractor has. The tractor already has the max amount of horsepower it can have. It has 120 horsepower, I believe. That's the most this one can have. Also, obviously, I worked on the tracks a little bit. Remember I talked about how I was going to make a track coming from here all the way back to there? So I did a track that goes from here all the way to our wood chip production. And, yeah, and kind of put some more dirt around that as well. So just spruced it up a little bit. But this is the plow we're going to utilize. Now, I have utilized this plow before. I think I actually still have it in the Broke to Billionaire Challenge, but I'm not really utilizing it. I utilized it early on, but I really haven't touched it since then. It's been sitting there. But we're going to utilize this one. Now, I think I could get up to, about 9 miles per hour normally with this plow. But we're not going to we're not going to be able to get there with this one. So as you can see, we're going pretty slow here. But if I get out of the area that's already been plowed up, we can get it to about 6-ish, 7, which I'm perfectly fine with. I think that's reasonable. So given that understanding, we're going to attempt to plow up this whole field today. It's going to take a while. I get that. But this width is much wider than what we were doing. If we were to do it the other way, it would take an astronomical amount of time, which is the reason why I was considering just chopping, the field up in half. And there's still potential that we might end up doing that, but for now we're going to go with this path of not. The other thing I'm going to probably do with this, I'll probably go around the outside edge again now that we kind of have our track lined out here, right? There's a little bit of area here and there that I could probably expand it out, make this field slightly bigger. Now, saying that, I don't necessarily know we need to make it bigger, but you get what I mean. I have the ability now that I have an idea of where our field is going to be to expand this field and make it bigger, so we may end up doing that. But regardless, we've got to do this field. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a long while. This is not a quick thing for us to do to knock this out, but I think it'll be good because we can put a crop in here that's going to make us a lot of money. I'm not sure what I'll put in here. I'll probably put sorghum in here because sorghum will be ready quicker, much faster, and that means that we can fit to put some chickens in. Now, I could obviously just go buy a bag, but I kind of mentioned that earlier. I didn't really want to just keep going the path of just going and buying the stuff. I kind of want to utilize it directly from our farm as much as possible. So put sorghum in here first, and then after that, probably put soybeans in. Maybe. Think about it, I guess, but that's kind of where my head's at currently on this field, and my ideas on this field. But how's everybody doing? Hopefully you're all doing well. I guess I'm going to say I'm back and grooving here from the hurricane. I was a little groggy for the last couple of episodes. I don't know if it really showed or not on the video itself. I know a couple of them I had a hard time getting some words out or put together properly in a sentence because I was cuckoo, tired, all that combined together, right? So But I'm feeling a little bit better today. I got more sleep. I'm back in the groove here, I guess is what I should say. Hopefully. Now, other than this field specifically here today, I really don't have anything else specifically I want to accomplish. What I probably will do, though, is I'm probably going to put in another shed today. Even though we don't necessarily need a shed right now. I'm probably going to put another shed in, maybe, or another animal. One of the two. Oh, well, pen. I'm not going to buy any animals yet. But if we get all the pens and everything down, that will, you know, prep us for the future. Again, not guaranteed, but that's kind of where my head's at for today, is to do that. But I guess we'll see. Won't do any woodworking today because we did a lot of that in the last episode. And just to kind of give you a bird's eye view here really quick. So, these trees obviously were chopped because I made this path here, right? I put the path in, put the dirt in there. And then I chopped just a couple of trees right here. You can see there's not many. And that got us to $91,000. It was a little bit more than that, but obviously I spent money on, you know, painting down the dirt and making these tracks and stuff, right? So, yeah, it's a pretty alarming how much money I'm making off of that, I guess is what I should say. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. It may just be that it's November, right? Because, I mean, the wood chips are probably best to sell right now anyway. We always see that with other series with doing wood chips, so... When we get finally back around to June, maybe the price will drop down a little bit, and maybe that won't be so OP. So that's kind of the reason why I'm waiting. I'm not going to get rid of it immediately. I want to give it a little bit more of a chance, and it'll help us early on stages to make sure we are able to continue to progress here, right? So anyway, it's a long-winded version of that's where we're at, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. Now, the money that we do have, the good thing about it is it will allow us to be able to buy a pretty nice harvester. Again, we're not going to go overboard, but not having to buy the one small Massey Ferguson that really doesn't hold anything and is very slow, I think is going to be really good for us in the long run. It won't kill my brain power to sit there and have to do it. So let me show you what I'm talking about really quick. If I can keep that going straight, I don't know if I'll be able to or not, but there is... Nope, not forage harvesters. Harvesters. There is a Massey Ferguson out here. It's on ModHub that I downloaded. It's been around for a while, but I think they just recently put it on ModHub for console players. It's this Massey Ferguson MF87, $14,000. Not bad at all, but only holds 1.5 meters. What am I stuck on? Oh, I'm stuck on a stump. Yeah, we've got to get something to get rid of those stumps too, so... Now, the easy choice would be just to go straight to the Tree Devour mod, but since we're doing wood chips a different way, I'm not going to go about the Tree Devour mod. I'm not going to utilize it at all in this series. We will get a proper stump grinder of some sort to get rid of all these stumps. And that's probably another step I should look to doing very soon. I don't know if I'll be able to drive over that field in the middle, the first field that we drilled. I'm not sure if it's germinated enough where I'm actually going to start leaving tire marks or not, but the rest of these fields, I should still be able to drive over them, which means I can get rid of some of those stumps. So maybe that's another objective we'll try to tag on today to do, is get a stump grinder and get rid of those. Now, there are different stump grinders we could look at getting. We could get the traditional one where it just goes on the back of the tractor. We could get one for a skid steer or something of that nature. There's a couple different ones, like a mulcher, basically. There's a bunch of different options we can choose from. It just depends, I guess, on which one we want to do. So let's take a look at that while we're going through here. These kind of things, right? I think you could technically put these on the back, actually, of a tractor, too, but this is what I mean by a more traditional one, like a saw, right? Just bring a saw to the game. So something like that we'll purchase. We'll also probably eventually purchase something where we don't have to use the... Well, we'll probably still use the winch, I guess I should say. But we'll buy something a little bit more realistic. And what I mean by that is, you know, some kind of forestry equipment that will... what's the word I'm looking for? One of these right here. where you'll take it and it'll take down all the branches and everything. There's a word for it. I'm just blanking on the word, but some of you will know what it is and correct me in the comments, I'm sure. But probably try to eventually get to that point, more than likely. Now, that likely won't, well, I guess I shouldn't say that. I was going to say that likely won't come until we start working on the second farm, because that's one of the objectives here is we have to eventually get to a point where we make a second, larger, better farm. At least that's what the rules are. I think it's going to be pretty difficult for me to make a better farm than what I currently have. I really like what we've got going here. I think I've planned it out pretty well. It's kind of going right to where my vision has been for this. I've got things separated to an extent away from each other, but still close enough that it's not, too far of a drive to get to them. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to do something a little bit different here. We're going to go around the headland here. It might be a slow headland pass here, but we're going to go around the headland here so I can give myself a little bit more room here. Because this isn't just a straight square. This is a very curvy field, so it's difficult for me to put the plow up and down without extending the field farther than I want it to be, right? If we're on a corner, it's going to effectively remove that corner, or remove portion of that corner. But anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Like I said, I'm talking a lot here. Let's throw a bit of a time lapse in here. Let's get this done. There's not much left to do, actually. See, you can see how much faster this is going to end up being for us. Now, I think I mentioned it already, but if I didn't, I'll say it again quickly here. I think this one, technically, if I had the right amount of horsepower, can go 9 mile per hour, I think. We've been hitting about 6, but 6 is still good. It's faster than what the cultivator was, so I'm happy with this purchase, and I think it was worth it. So let's get this field done, and then we can get something in the ground. All right, and that is pretty much the field done here. One more little quick pass there to touch that up, and we're done. Long time lapse, but we got it done. This is a really, really large field. Really large field. I thought about expanding it even further, and I'm glad I didn't. I thought about going over into there, but yeah, this is well large enough at this current point, I think. This field will take a long time to harvest and re-drill and everything else, so... Fantastic. That is now done. One other thing we need to do today that I forgot to mention, I mentioned in the last episode, we got to get the mower for the grapes there. We need to get that field there mowed up. No, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. I was going to say I'm going to expand that a little bit there to make that look a little bit better, but no, we're going to leave it. We'll leave it. So let's go put this away. I kind of have to have a little bit more thought about where I want to put the shed at. I really haven't decided that yet, so I need to think about that one a little bit more. I'm just going to set this here for right now, even though it's kind of messy. I'm just going to set it there for right now. Let's head back to the shop. Let's pick up the mower, and we can get the grapes mowed here really quick. All right, it cost us $2,250. It wasn't really anything major. I think I should be able to take this tractor down here. I can, so I could almost get rid of the other tractor. Almost. Probably shouldn't, but I could. I'm actually surprised that this tractor fits down here. I brought it over here because I wanted to test it. And it fits, no problem. Now, it might not with some other implements that we have to utilize, right? But for mowing, no problem. That time lapse for doing that field was long, but man, it was worth it. We're gonna have to drill that field today too. I talked about sorghum. I think that's what I'm gonna stick with, the sorghum in that, because that'll grow quick. It's the fastest growing cereal crop. And then that way we can flip it around and put soybeans in there, and then we'll have tons of sorghum that we can utilize for the chickens, among other things, right? So I think that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm not sure if I necessarily need to mow this side of the grass, but I'm going to do it anyway. I mean, clearly there's a different level of grass there. You can see it. So I'm going to do it anyway, and if it ends up being that I didn't need to do it, well, I'm going to do it anyway. Now, when these are ready to harvest, what we might end up doing with some of this money from the wood chips, since we're getting a lot, is expanding this grapevine a lot sooner than I had initially anticipated. But I think that might be what we end up doing here. I think that's the a good approach to take. Said I wanted to do it anyway, right? I wanted to spend a lot of time on grapes in this series since we kind of started doing grapes towards the end of the 200 horsepower challenge and then abruptly stopped it because this series ended up coming out. But we kind of had hit a point in that 200 horsepower challenge series where we were adding new things here and there, but we had so much going on that we really weren't doing a lot of expansion, so it was time to move on from it. I don't know why I'm talking about it now. We're far enough along now that it's stopped for a while, but it just reminded me of it when doing these grapes and mowing them, right? All right, good. Those are done. I think we're going to get the stump grinder right now, one way or another. I don't know which stump grinder we'll get, but I think we're going to get one of them now. Because we got a lot of stumps to get rid of, and that gives us something new to do as well. Now, which one we're going to get? Ooh, that's a nice tractor out there, actually. 130 horsepower, but it's not much more than what we have currently, so there's no reason for us to buy it. Stump grinders, let's see. mean, these are all saying they need a lot more horsepower than what we have. 150, 200 horsepower. It's not really ideal. The only other option really we could do is you know, go the skid steer route with this, which we've utilized before, but it does ruin the ground pretty quickly. So I think what we'll do is we'll do the traditional here, this one. Cost us 27,000 bucks. Let's go down and get it. I'll bring it back up here. We'll start getting rid of some of these stumps. All right, let's get these chopping these things up here, gang. I'm going to test this out on the corner down here. I'm going to see if I can drive over here still. I don't think, actually, there was anything that I have to get rid of as far as a tree goes, but it lets me drive on it. I don't think there is one. Let's do this. This is the best way to do it. There is one. I lied. I forgot about that guy right there. I think that was it, though. I think that was the only one. Took that slow just because I was still nervous. I still thought there was the chance that maybe I was just not seeing the change in the ground there. Alright, that's gone. Let's get all these over here, then we're going to head over to the other side over there and grab those. I think there was one other one over here, but I think it was just kind of on the edge, so it may not even be one we have to get rid of. I think I just got rid of it for the sanity of when we did harvesting and things like that, but I guess maybe there isn't one. I swear there was one here. Wasn't there a little tiny tree? Yeah, there's this twig right there. Again, sometimes this is the best way to do it. Get up in the air like this, you can see them a little easier. But I certainly don't see it, so if it is there somewhere, I guess we'll find it later. Let's get these other ones in here that we just drilled up that we know for a fact. Well, we kind of know for a fact where most of them are. I remember most of them. We'll have to bird's eye view these as well, eventually. There should be 3-ish over here, and then I think there's 3-ish over there. Yep, there's 3 over here for sure. Perfect. Maybe it was just one. I swear there was 3 over here. I guess I'm imagining shit. I swear there was 3 over here. There's no more on this field, that's for sure. Huh. Okay, well, I stand corrected then. Alright, let's head over to those other fields that have been planted and take a look at those. Alright, I just did a bird's eye view, and I'm not seeing any with the exception of this one over here. We know this one for a fact is here, but otherwise, I'm not seeing any. So, where's that? There it is. So they're probably there. I just, you know, I'm having a hard time seeing them because of the growth stage at this point. So we might have to just wait until later on to make sure that there's none over there. So let's go put this away. Then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to begin to drill that field up there. Probably put it on a worker for a brief period of time as well. And then I'm going to look at putting it in the shed that I talked about, right? And then maybe the other animal pen that I want to do in the future. We'll kind of think about it a little bit more, but that's kind of what I'm thinking for now. I know I have stuff everywhere, and it drives me insane having this stuff like this. I don't like doing it, but for now we're going to leave it there just for the interest of time here, because everything's going to move here very, very soon. Yeah, Now, I think we're going to need seed and fertilizer. So I think what we might end up doing... Yeah, we do. I've utilized these many times, and they're just so convenient that I'm having a hard time not utilizing them again. I think I'm going to go with an old one, though. That kind of makes sense, I think. We definitely don't want a free one. That's not what we want. Where do I want to put it, though? That's the question, right? I don't want to... I want to make sure that it's methodically chosen on where I put this at. I don't want it to be in a location where I feel like I have to move it again in the future. I guess possibly there, but that kind of is in the way a little bit. Not really, I guess. I was going to say it's kind of a little bit in the way of the pit, but I guess not really. I'm going to go with it. We're going to go with it for now. May not be... I may just go back on my word and have to eventually, you know, change it. But we're gonna go with that for now. Let's put some dirt around it. Because we mostly are keeping everything with the dirt around here. There's obviously some things that I'm not going to be able to change. Like this, I'm probably not going to be able to really get underneath there and get all of that gravel out of there. But that's alright. So I get most of it. I'm fine with it. That'll work. That will work. So, let's get this filled up. I just went right past the sorghum. There it is. Just didn't want... I wanted to make sure that I didn't have it too far away, if that makes any sense, right? From, well, I say too far away. Too close is really what I meant. From that field there. I don't want to, you know, drive into that field when it's got a crop at a stage where we could actually ruin it. Now you might be asking, well, Z, you put that pit in, you've only used it once, you've got all this grass, why don't you put some more in there? I'm going to. I promise you I'm going to. I'm just trying to rotate around each episode the things we do to keep it fresh, keep it, you know, new, exciting. I don't want to just, every single episode you come here, I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just doing silage work every single time. That's not exciting. I wouldn't enjoy that. So if we, you know, rotate it around every couple of episodes, then we'll do some silage, and then we'll do some word work, and then we'll do some plowing and drilling, and then eventually we'll start doing some harvesting, and that'll get a little bit more exciting, right? That's the goal, at least. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go around the headland, like I typically would do. This is a long headland, so this is going to take a while. We're probably going to have to fill... sorry, gang, I hit the microphone there. We're probably going to have to fill this up twice, I would think. The actual drill itself, I would think we have to fill it up again because of how large this field is, but we will find out. Regardless, we'll get the headland done here, then I'll throw it on a worker for a brief period of time, and then we'll kind of jump cut, go off camera for a minute. I will think about, make my decision on where I want to put the shed at, and then maybe potentially where we put the other animal, whatever it is we decide to do. I haven't really decided yet. It's probably, I think, well, I guess I shouldn't say it. I guess bees really aren't cheating. I was going to say, I feel like bees are kind of cheating early on, but, I mean, the rules say a pin, which bees really don't have a pin. So, I guess sort of it is cheating. But anyway, I'm going on a rant here. So I guess it'll probably either have to be, since we have chickens down already, it has to be either sheep or cows or pigs, right? Now, I don't think we have plenty of stuff to do it, but I don't think we're necessarily prepared yet to do cows, right? We've got to buy some kind of ability, whether production or you know, a placeable or a vehicle of some sort that allows us to do TMR, right? And I don't think we're quite there yet. If I still have some more trees, we absolutely could be there. But again, I'm trying to limit that at least until we get to June to see what the price is of selling the wood chips then. If it's very similar to this price, then I think we have something that needs to be removed in place of something else, probably the firewood, right? But if it goes down in price and it's a little more reasonable, then I'm going to keep it. But even so, we're not going to utilize it that much. We're just going to utilize it just to give us a little bit of extra funds when we need them the most, to help continue to progress the series. So that's kind of where we're at right now. That's kind of where we're going. And yeah, let's put a worker on this, and then we'll go off camera, and I'll see what I can what's the word I want to look for? See what I can muster up as far as a new area with a shed and even maybe potentially some kind of animal. Alright, gang, this is what I've gone with. Cost us a lot of money, as you can see. We pretty much have no money whatsoever. But I think, really, I guess I need one of the Rusty or Crustu to watch this and make sure that they agree. I think this tackles two birds with one stone, because we have this section here, which will be for our pigs, right? And I don't do pigs very often, so I think it'll be good to add the pigs in here, give myself a little bit more of a challenge. But it also has this big open-air shed. I think this could be considered our second shed, especially with the price that we paid for this. And not only that, I think I might have to remove a little bit of this field, actually, from where I put it, but we've got to put some dirt or gravel down as well. But that's all stuff that I can do here in a second. But not only that, right, I like the way that this matches the barn we put in before, which both of those match the stone of the house that we currently have. I really like that they're all matching and they all go together well. So you can see the stone there of our house, right? See the stone? Which kind of matches, not perfectly, but kind of matches the stone here of this shed, which matches almost identically the stone here of this one. So I like that. I think this is going to be really good for us. Now, we don't have a whole lot of money, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take another tree or two and get some wood chips out of them, and make sure we get a little bit of money here so we don't go in the negative. But let me know what your thoughts are on that, if you think that is cheating or not, even if Crustu and Rusty happen to not watch this episode. Let me know what your thoughts are, and if you think if that's cheating on the rules of having to have two sheds, or if you think the combo situation like that would be considered for the pigs, because technically that open air shed has nothing to do with the pigs. You don't drop anything off in there, nothing. It's just literally there to store equipment. So let me know what your thoughts are on that, if you think that's too cheaty or not. I don't think it is. I think that is perfectly fine and acceptable to be considered our second shed, which means we have now accomplished one of the goals for stage 1. We have 2 animal placements placed down. Now, we don't have any animals in them yet, so really, it's not fully, I guess, accomplished until the animals are there, but we're off to a good start, I guess is what I should say. Now we just have to pay off the loan, which we can pay off the loan pretty quickly with the wood chips. Get the animals, and then we got to start making the flour, right? The flour is the big thing. Oh, also, one thing I did note, I didn't say it to you or not, but if I chop these down into around the average range they should be in... Uh-oh, my battery died. If we chop these down into the average range they should be in, it doesn't make a difference for the wood chip. What I mean by that is it makes no difference if I have it at a perfect size, if I have it at the full size, makes no difference. And it also doesn't make a difference if I remove the limbs from them. I still get the same amount no matter what. It's 5,000 no matter what from a tree. I mean, obviously, a tree this size, 35.8, they're always going to be 5,000. Now, I know other things, other places, if you go sell them and if you use other productions, right, that does make a difference depending on the size. But here, it makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. Right. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull both of these together or not with this tractor, but I can do it with the other tractor, but it's not the easiest thing. It has a hard time with it. But we're not going that far, so hopefully we can. It's looking like that is a big whopping no. It probably can do it, but it just seems to be having a little bit of issue, and I'm not going to put any more wear and tear on it, so let's just pull one at a time, and we'll go from there. I would say the worker's pretty close to halfway, which is good. All right, that saves us a lot of time, and we can take over the rest. Get the camera out of the way of the trees there, Z. Come on, brother. I truly thought cutting them in half and spending all the time on that was going to actually yield us more, but it doesn't in the wood chips here. So, based off of that, I'm not really spending my time or effort, especially since most of this will be off camera, doing the normal of removing the branches and chopping them in different pieces to make the yield better. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'll show you what I mean. When I put these both in here, I mean, it's going to be going, it's going to start chewing them away quickly, but it should be about 10,000. Well, not even about. It should be exactly 10,000. Let me find my way through here. Bear with me for a minute here. Don't get sick. All right. Watch the bottom right corner. Should be about 10, should be 10,000 exactly. There he goes. See, it's already chopping through them quickly. He goes through them so fast, but it's 10,000 liters every time. Does not make a difference. Makes no difference whatsoever. All right, so when those sell at 12 o'clock, we'll be in good shape there. So let's go drop this off. Let me go put this tractor back away, and then we'll take over for the worker there and get the rest of that field done. We probably have to fill it up here soon with fertilizer and seed too. Well, I stand corrected. Again, we did not need to fill this up, so field's done. Sorghum's in, gang. It's exciting. We're going to make a lot of money off of that. We'll make some flour from it, too, as well. And utilize it for the chickens. Now, the final thing I want to do really today is, well, we got to ride Jester, first of all. We got to ride him and clean him and everything else. You got to do it daily. But the final thing I want to do today is kind of work on the area over there. I'm still going to stick with, even though I'm asking for your input, I'm still going to stick with the fact that that's fine. That's going to be considered my second shed plus the pig. It doesn't, just because they're combined together doesn't necessarily mean that it can't be two different things. But who knows? I may still put down another shed. You know me. I like sheds. I like adding sheds all over the place, even if we don't end up utilizing them. So let's head over to Jester here real quick. Let's ride him over to our new pigsty there, and we can work on cleaning that area up a little bit, trying to figure out how we're going to build the tracks and all that good stuff, right? So this is a prime example for us to kind of look at it right here, right? Where do we want this area here to come over here at? I don't want to put it too close to this field, but somewhere like right in here, maybe where I'm walking at now, if we kind of cut it from the pit this way, and then I'm kind of imagining this entire section here, all of this, to be pretty much dirted up or graveled up, or however you want to word it, say it, right? And then most of it here, and then kind of have it separate off where we'll have one track that connects to the track that we already kind of put in, right? Our little quick temporary track there, and then have the other one go towards that way, because I said I was going to have one go that way. Mostly that one up there is really going to connect with that one up there, and then kind of go to the left there. Maybe up over once we get rid of some of those trees, if we get rid of all those trees. Who knows if we get rid of all of them or not. Based off of how much money we make off the wood chips, we might not. But I guess you kind of get what I'm trying to say or trying to get to, right? Now, this has gravel, I guess, on the ground. So I think maybe we'll put a little bit of gravel, but then the rest of it, I think I'm going to go back to dirt, maybe? I don't know, because everything else we have is all dirt-based. So I kind of want to keep it unison to a certain extent, right? No, maybe I'll think about that. Maybe I'll just get rid of all the gravel altogether and make it dirt. I don't know. Except for within the actual shed itself, maybe that's what I end up doing. Where is Jester? I gotta brush him. Or clean him. Whatever they want to call it. Where'd he go? Where is he? Where the heck did he go? Oh, I didn't ride him far enough. He's only rode 70%. I gotta ride him some more. Well, hold on. Maybe he just hadn't respawned yet, I guess? I don't know, that was weird. So I guess what I'll do here is I'll kind of... Well, we'll ride around the field here real quick. I'll show you what I'm meaning here. So if we take it this way, which I think is a good idea, just as a track, and then eventually expands out here in just a big, massive dirt area. A couple little splotches of grass to make it a little realistic, right? Dirt track coming to here. This is still all just massive dirt right here, so we can hit this for the manure or whatever else we get out of that. Slurry, whatever it is. So we got the dirt track going that way, which kind of just dead ends, but eventually it'll go somewhere. We make another dirt track this way. We probably expand this field now that we kind of have an idea of what we're doing here, right? Make that track come up to the edge with this. Turn right up here. Maybe even go up here on the little hill up here. Try to flatten this out. Keep it within the tree line, next to the tree line here. Head over this way and connect up with that track there. I think that's the best approach and probably the smartest. So I think that's what we're gonna do. All right, let's take Jester back now. He should be good, and we just have to brush him down. All right, he's back. Cleanness, 100%. Daily rating, 100%. Effectiveness is good. He's good. 100% health. He's got plenty of water. He doesn't drink that much water, which is actually good for us, I guess. So I don't really show this very often on camera, but I'm going to show it a little bit here. We're going to try to make a track here as best as I can. I don't know how good this is going to actually end up being or not, but let me try to align this here. Something like that. And then, like that. Yeah, like that. I think that'll work. I think that'll work well. We might have to expand this area a little bit right in here because of this, right? Might want to make a more of a circle there, but you get what I'm trying to get at. I think I'm just going to make all this dirt here in the front. I don't think it really matters in the front here. Surprisingly, they have dirt inside there. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, so we're going to make this dirt. I mean, gravel. So we're going to make this dirt. Because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I feel like inside there, that would be dirt, not gravel. Because of the pigs, right? I'll leave the gravel in here, but we'll put dirt on the outside of it, like that. Like so. Yeah, just like that. Yeah. And something like that. I hate those little bushes, so I'm getting rid of them because I can't stand them. I hate them. And then just try to add little sections in here and there, right, to make it look a little more realistic, like grass is, it's been here for a while, because that's what we're, you know, kind of going for here, the Pioneer Challenge, right? There are going to be sections that grass is growing through, and we're out of money. Oh boy. Well, good thing 11:59 is getting ready to hit, or we're going to be in the negative. Good thing noon's getting ready to hit, rather should say not 11:59 is getting ready to hit. We should get a lot of money. It's probably going to be $90,000 again. Or around that. Nope, okay, I'm sorry. Not $90,000. That was only 2 trees, wasn't it? Yeah, 2 trees. Okay, so 21,000. Still, that's good. That's real good. So now I can spend the rest of the money here painting this. And I can come back, obviously, and put meadow in and try to make it a little more realistic as well. And I imagine just kind of stopping it somewhere in there. That'll work. Just like that. Perfect. Yeah. And I'll do some more touch-up work on this and make sure it looks, you know, up to snuff where I want it to be at. But I think you get the point, right? This is kind of how I do it. That'll work for me. Good enough. So with that, gang, we'll leave the episode there. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe if you're new. It's free. Helps me a ton. And hope you stay safe. And until next time, I'll catch each and every single one of you in the next episode.